Here's the thing that most FIRE people have on their mind. I finally hit my FIRE number. I'm a multi-millionaire and I can work optional. But the reality check is that it can get quite lonely. There is this thing called the social void, where if you no longer have to be in the office, you lose something called the forced community. Your friends are still at work while you're at home looking at charts in your Excel spreadsheet planning your retirement life. Today in this video, we're going to talk about the psychological side of becoming work optional and why community is your most important aspect once you reach your goals. If you're new here, my name is Chris and I run a Telegram group of close to 23,000 members at Honey Money SG. So you can join us for free in the Telegram group to ask your questions. Let's talk about the 3 stages of financial loneliness. Starting with stage 1, the relatability gap. Don't you realize that when you actually reach your FIRE status, you cannot really go and talk about your wins because it will sound a bit like bragging. Like among your friends who are still in the 9 to 5 grind, do you go and tell them, hey, this time I invested $100,000 into the stock market? Like, for example, you're going to take a 3-day, 2-night spontaneous trip up to Malaysia just because you don't have to apply for annual leave. Okay, this is so unheard of for the corporate employee who cannot even comprehend this level of flexibility. To yourself, you're just sharing the joy of being flexible and able to make the trip. But to them, it sounds like bragging, right? Because it's not like something that they can do off the whim without any sort of approval. And stage 2 is the work from home vacuum, because now that you have quit your job, you have retired or early retired, maybe you're work optional and you take on more online based projects and employment, and then you work from home. It is good for the productivity, but not very good for interaction because you kind of lose the social aspect of having colleagues or having a corporate work environment where you could bounce ideas off each other. We call that the water cooler moments because that's where you can have your small chats, your chit chats over live instead of just work. But stage 3 is the most important one, and that is the identity crisis. Because don't you realize that many people, they tie their own self-worth and their identity to their job titles. They may be a director, a head of a department, or even the CEO or managing director. And now that they have retired to whatever they are doing right now, they lose that kind of respect or self-esteem that they have for themselves because they finally realize that they were respected for the title itself and maybe not the person itself. So I'm very sure that most early retirees, they also invest their money. But you see, investments is kind of like a solo game, right? It's like solo leveling. There's no one to really go and discuss ideas other than yourself go and read the research and reports and financial statements. And I'm going to use myself as an example after I've left the corporate grind. Nowadays, I usually just hang out with entrepreneurs, investors, content creators when I meet them up for social events. And this kind of social events are usually at the time slot where corporate 9 to 5 employees are unable to attend. And then for a specific topic like investment, credit card, or CPF that I may have interest in, I talk to my own Telegram group, which is why you should join it because you probably cannot find like-minded people among your community. So you go and join that like-minded community so people won't see you like the odd one out. But the truth is that not everyone has a platform like that. So one of the best ways that I have found to break out of this work optional isolation is to move from high tech to high touch. This is why I'm excited to partner with Tiger Brokers to share about their offline events. You see, investing is usually a solo task, but Tiger is turning it to a face-to-face community experience. Whether you are a seasoned investor or just starting out, these events are a great way to connect with people who are actually on your level. When you attend these offline events, you get hands-on app walkthroughs to master the Tiger Trade app in real-world scenarios, and also market sharing sessions from industry experts on everything from current conditions to emerging themes like AI in investing. So how to join is very simple, just 3 simple steps. Step 1, open the Tiger Trade app and go to your profile. Step 2, look for My Offline Events tab. Step 3, tap to see the full list of events and speakers. And from there, just register for any talk that interests you and show up for the event itself. Take your experience offline and learn from the experts in person. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to use my exclusive link below to sign up and qualify for the welcome rewards once you fulfill the terms and conditions. And thank you to Tiger Brokers for sponsoring this video. So I guess the next question is how to design a work optional social life. Fundamentally, for step 1, you will need to rebuild your circle. So I'm talking about your social circle. This is very unlike your corporate social circle, right? Because you need to find around 3 to 5 like-minded people where you can discuss the topics or concepts that interest you. For example, you are interested in investing or you are interested in a certain hobby, right? And these people, hopefully, they are all financially independent, so they all have the same kind of mindset and they are free during your working hours as well. So you will need this safe space to allow everyone to grow together because there's then this growth mindset where you will not judge the other person because you can now understand their perspective or point of view, which is very different from a retiree, early retiree versus one who is still hustling in the corporate grind. Step two, you will need to use your time as currency. And that's really because after retirement, you don't need to trade your time for money anymore. And with your time being a precious resource, use your time to trade for connections, people that can level you up. And that's where you can meet them at these offline events. Or you could go to other physical meetups or seminars and learn with a like-minded community. Step three, intentional learning. Because now it's not just learning for your job anymore, right? You are picking up skills that interest you, topics that interest you. For example, like AI, it is so new. Are there any other people out there who is also interested in AI? And it's also hopefully financial independence so that you all can now discuss at the same wavelength. And you realize that the goal is active learning, not just passive consuming. So other than work optional, do you know that in a recent CNA news article, more and more seniors are choosing fractional jobs over traditional retirement? And this is because they have this wealth of knowledge and the network that they have, and they used to be highly skilled performers. And the fact may be that doing nothing makes them feel uneasy. So they rather go and choose all these fractional roles compared to work optional and earn some money on the side as well to supplement retirement income. And is considered not as stressed as their previous full-time job. So that is a perfect balance for all these seniors or early retirees. I also want to touch on this point of high touch being the future because our world is becoming more desensitized, right? With AI, with all these things like work remote, the real alpha is actually found in human networks because humans are getting increasingly disconnected from each other. The most successful work optional people are not the ones with the most money, but they have the massive connections that they can find the right group to fit in. Because you will soon realize that physical presence will help you read the room and understand the market sentiment far more than the monitor or the screen is going to tell you. So as a final word from me, don't just retire from something like your job, like your company, your business. Retire towards something. Have a goal that you can look forward to because that will energize you and not become like a socially awkward person, right? Be the person that builds the community. So if you're a fire enthusiast or you're an early retiree and you ever felt that investing loneliness, can you please comment event plus one if you really look forward to such community events? And of course, you can go and join the offline events like what my sponsor is doing, Tiger Brokers, right? Go and join and meet up like-minded people. Maybe it can help you broaden your mindset as well, lah. And if you're still on your investment journey accumulating wealth, then I can refer you to my very own investment strategy for 2026 right here.